Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Eric, and this week we are going to be talking about Edward Yang's film Yi Yi. Let me ask you all a question. If you had the opportunity to go back in time and make changes, knowing that they led you down the path to where you are now, would you? This is a question that our main character, NJ, asks himself as he struggles with his age and his relationships, past and present. Yang's film dives deep into, quite simply, life and the miracle of it all, wanting to show us, beat for beat, moment for moment, the life and times of the Jian family. This film affected me deeply. It was a beautiful masterpiece of cinema that, although it was 3 hours long, not a second of it was wasted on anything this early. Wow. It was 3 hours long, but not a second was wasted on anything inconsequential. Every moment is important and helps us dive deeper into the characters, their motivations, and their desires. Each family member is going down their own path, whether it be teenage adolescence or middle-age reconciliation. Edward Yang takes us on this journey through stunning cityscapes and intimate camera work. The shots, the score, the scenes, all of it is a masterpiece in filmmaking, and I'm super excited to go on this journey with you. Let's dive right in. Normally, I say skip to the end to see my spoiler-free review, but I am going to go in the opposite direction for this one. Go see this film. 9 out of 10. It is an excellent example of how you can pack so much into a time slot for theater goers. Don't let the watch time scare you, because it flew by when I watched it. Not once did I wonder what time it was or if this is the last act. None of that. It felt like watching a season of a show. So much occurs from the beginning at the wedding to the end with a funeral. The color palette and music are also great set dressings for an incredible movie. And there are musical themes that occur throughout the film that help us bring back to the happy or the sad. Edward Yang, by the end of this film, had me in tears. The second the last monologue was said by Yang, the youngest son, it was beautiful. Do yourself a favor. It's on this list for a reason. Go watch it. If you want to come on this journey with me, then let's go and talk about some of my favorite shots and scenes and plot beats throughout this film and why I feel it deserves its spot on the list. We open on a wedding for Adi, the brother of NJ, who is getting married to a woman who is visibly pregnant. As the festivities begin to come together, Ting Ting, NJ's daughter, goes to her grandmother and gives her a flower she found on the ground. And we get this beautiful wide angle of the two of them on the patio area. As we get into the dining hall, Yun Yun, the messiest woman you'll ever have the displeasure of meeting, asks where Grandma is. She then weeps at Grandma and tells her how it should have been her that is marrying Adi and not this woman, and how she must be so disappointed in her. And listen, sis, she's not even registering you right now. She's out of it. Ting Ting goes to her father and tells him that Grandma is not feeling well and that she needs to be taken home. They bring her home, and NJ tells Ting Ting to take out the trash. As she does, she sees her neighbor, Lily, and her boyfriend, Thaddy. Because it's ironic. It's like in the back alley, flirting, and she watches them from the balcony with longing, wanting that for herself. She's envious of the two of them. As we make our way back to the wedding, the festivities roll on, and our boy Yang, the youngest, is getting picked on by these young girls. Look at them, throwing his shoes.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
He sits at the table and pokes at his food, feeling bullied, and honestly, as a kid, I don't know if I would want to be eating after being picked on either. NJ brings him to McDonald's, where everything is better. And we get this nice shot of NJ looking defeated while Yang eats a burger. Boss moves right there, little man. Boss moves. As they head back to the wedding, NJ meets this beautiful woman on the elevator. His first love, Sherry. From the moment she steps off the elevator, we feel the electricity between these two characters. There aren't any close-ups, though. We do all this from a wide angle, and it's absolutely brilliant, keeping everything in close proximity. The two lost in the moment. They talk briefly about their lives and how she's married to someone who lives out in Chicago, and she's just visiting for family. And he tells her about his two children and his wife. As Adi comes down the elevator to see where NJ went, Sherry gives NJ her card and says to call her, and she walks away, only to come back and give us just a hint of their past relationship. Sherry gives NJ her card and tells him to call her. NJ and Yang Yang go back up as the party roars on. NJ ponders his and Sherry's past relationship, wondering where things went wrong. And then pop! A balloon breaks him out of his trance. Such an innocuous thing gives Yang Yang an idea. Freaking got him, dude! Let's go! As the family makes their way back home, we learn that the grandmother had a stroke and is now in the hospital. They rush to the hospital and are told that she has fallen into a comatose state. As they take her back and put her to rest at home, wait, strike that, reverse it. They take her home while in this state, and the doctor tells them all that they must speak to her every day, collectively, and talk about really anything that interests them. And hopefully that will bring in sort of a routine and break her out of this trance. We are told that she had a stroke while taking out the trash, supposedly, and Ting Ting cannot remember if she did or not and struggles with that feeling, grief, that she may be the cause of her grandmother's current state. The guilt that comes from that is immense, and something that she struggles with through the whole film. The mother attempts to get Yang Yang to speak to Grandma, but he doesn't feel like he has anything to say. He doesn't feel like he has any experiences to share with her, and so he chooses to just say nothing. As the frustration begins to build, the mother tells Yang Yang that he needs to tell the truth, and maybe the truth will help bring Grandma out of this state. And he still refuses. Just at this moment, Adi comes in. Now, Adi is a bit of a mess. He straight up lies to her from the get-go.
妈，我比较会讲啊，我先讲啊，我没有问题啦，越做越顺，你不用担心啊。我最近很有钱呢，常常有人跑来找我借钱呢。我已经不是像你那种以前天天担心我到处去跟别人借钱那个样子了。
And we see that he's a chronic liar through the entire film. He's got a lot of debts that he has to pay off. He owes people a lot of money. He's having an affair with Yun Yun. Like I said, messy. NJ is at his work, and things are not looking good. It seems like they need to have some kind of tech product come out that will bring in more sales, but they're all out of ideas. They tell NJ about a tech bro that lives out of Japan, the eccentric Ota. Now, Ota is my favorite character. He is so eccentric and enlightened. He talks to pigeons. He drops some amazing dialogue in English. And in fact, the actor actually improvised most of those lines because Edward Yang wanted his English to sound realistic, as if a Japanese person were speaking English kind of in a broken way.
Why are we afraid of the first time? Every day in life is a first time. Every morning is new. We never live the same day twice. We never afraid of getting up every morning. Why?
NJ's colleagues encourage him to take Oda out to dinner so that he can sign on with them. While out at a karaoke bar, Oda asks NJ about his first love and music.
The great Leonard.
Hi, you know music very well.
When I was a little boy, my family was very poor. Music make me believe life is beautiful.
My father listens to music every day, but I hate his music.
So?
When I was 15, I fell in love. Suddenly, all of his music means something. Then she left. The music stayed with me.
After he drops Oda off, he gets back to the office late at night and calls Sherry, asking if she wants to meet up. When he gets back, he finds his wife struggling to come to terms with her own life.
怎么跟妈讲的东西都是一样的？我一连跟他讲了几天，我每天讲的是一模一样的。早上做什么，下午做什么，晚上做什么，几分钟就讲完了。受不了。
This is where I knew the movie was going to hit me right in the gut. I mean, I had this exact feeling when I was talking with my grandmother when she was sick. And, they tell you, oh, just talk with her. She understands what you're saying and things like that. And I was out of work at the time. I was taking care of her some days, but I just felt like I had nothing to give her, nothing. There was nothing about my life that was interesting. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening was pretty much the same. So I really felt for the mother here. And, I understand why she would want to seek some kind of religious experience to deal with that. She refers to her life as a blank page that has nothing written on it, every day the same. Not to pivot hard on this topic, but that's why I love the movie Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day takes a man and throws him into the same day over and over and over again. But for the townsfolk of Puxatawny, every day is the same. Doesn't matter if it's the same day, it's a routine, same old life. Yang Yang is having his own problems. You see, he is struggling at school, and this kid is constantly getting picked on by his classmates, by the other girls, by even the dean.
气球啊！
坐下。好，这次饶了你啊，下次给我特别注意。
My dude, you're a teacher. You're supposed to educate, not berate. Honestly, it's a wonder that this man even has a job. My man was just trying to have fun with a condom balloon.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Yang Yang goes to school. Yang Yang goes to school and is struggling with his youth. He asks poignant questions to his father, and he's just trying to navigate life and obtain the truth. Meanwhile, Ting Ting goes over to Lily's apartment where she is helping Lily with dinner. While they're cooking, Lily's mother enters with another man. Lily takes this as a sign that they have to get out of there. So she says, oh, we're going to a dinner instead of cooking. Ting Ting takes this and runs with it. And they go out to the music store where they meet Fatty. Him and Lily are having a bit of a tiff, and Ting Ting basically leaves them alone. As Ting Ting and Lily go to the coffee bar, Ting Ting asks Lily what the problem is with Fatty, and she insists that everything is fine. Everything's fine. Ting Ting leaves, leaving Lily to wait for someone who will never come. She sees them later from the balcony arguing and fighting, but cannot hear about what. As the days pass, Fatty waits outside and keeps giving Ting Ting letters to give to Lily on his behalf. She is not a parrot until one day he gives Ting Ting a letter for herself, professing his love. I don't want to say that I don't like him, but I don't like him. NJ tells his team that he likes Oda and that he wants to go with him, no matter what his price is. They decide he is too expensive, and so they are going to go with a knockoff called Atto, which is just the same name, guys, but backwards. The thing is, because NJ is so good with people, they say that he is the one that has to tell Oda that they don't want to go with him. So they send him off to Japan, the first flight, where Sherry meets him at the hotel. And him, Sherry, and Oda sit in the lobby, and we get this beautiful scene.
I already know everything. Very easy.
Okay. When shall we have our meeting?
How long do you plan to stay this time?
About 1 week.
One dinner is enough for our meeting. Hey, you are not in the mood to talk business.
Who says?
I know, Desho. Don't worry. Business later. No problem.
Really?
Really.
Where shall we go?
Hey, don't ask me. You are young people. Young people always find their own way. That's the best way.
Yang becomes obsessed with photography, going so far as to leave school one day in order to get film, for which he is punished by, guess what? The dean.
哦，我懂了，我懂啦，这就是他们说的前卫艺术啊，看不出来啊。啊，来，大家拿去看啊，欣赏欣赏啊。
看都看不清楚。
这就是艺术啊，这还挺花钱的哦。
艺术赚得了。
大家看啊，想不到啊，他还是个大师啊啊！瞪什么瞪？你还敢瞪？转过去面对墙壁。没大没小的，看你以后还敢不敢？
The dean makes him sit and look at the wall while he passes around his photographs, and everybody laughs at him. Ooh! Yang does get his revenge by blowing up a balloon full of water and dumping it on the dean's head. A very certified Animal House moment.
Robot House!
As he runs from the dean, who is crippled, by the way. So, get wrecked, dude. He goes into a class where they're showing a movie about the creation of life. And we get this beautiful shot of the screen behind a girl that he has a crush on.
的同时，不断累积，互相越来越不可抗拒。终于在一个闪电的瞬间，正电和负电又激烈的结合在一起，这就是雷。
While Ting Ting goes on a date with Fatty, bad choices on her part, but I get it. She wants the kind of love that Lily had, but really, it's a fallacy. They go and see a movie. Wait a second. What is that? Is that Star Wars: The Phantom Menace? Now that is peak cinema.
Brother, this guy stinks!
While they go on this date, NJ and Sherry are going on their own little friend date and reconciling their past relationship and viewing it through rose-colored glasses. Like, oh, you remember this, remember that? And sure, you look at past relationships and you think, oh yeah, those are the good times, but you kind of ignore all the red flags. NJ talks to Sherry about how he really wants to be able to connect to his son, and he loves his daughter, but he really wants to connect to his son, not knowing that him and Ting Ting are almost the exact same person. This is a beautiful scene where while NJ is describing what was happening on his and Sherry's first date, we get this split screen where we see Ting Ting and Fatty having their first date, and it's very similar. For the next week, NJ and Sherry visit their old spots and reminisce about the past, and she breaks down to him, asking him why he left and left her waiting there. And she waited, and his response is one that held a lot of weight for me.
你是希望我去读电子系，去摕博士，但是你敢捌问我讲，我心内真正要做的是啥物件？我开了电子系讲。 阮老爸真开心，阮老母真开心，你嘛真开心。连到我是上悲哀的人。人哦，是无可能互另外一个人来甲教讲，你安怎活落去，你应该安怎过日子，迄有够悲哀，你知无？但是偏偏迄个人是我上爱的人。所以，你敢知影怎？我规个人是安怎滚？
We then get the hardest shot in this film, which looks like an album cover. As they check into the final hotel room, he brings Sherry to her room and he tells her that he never really loved anyone else besides her. Which, dude, you got a wife. Kind of rude. I know she's off finding herself, but I know you're not cheating, but let's calm down there. The next morning, he goes to see her, and he comes to find out that she has already checked out of the hotel, leaving him the way that he left her all those years ago. He is told by his colleagues that he has to pretty much dump Ota because they already went with the cheaper option of Otto. He becomes very upset about this, and to be honest, I would be too, because I love the guy. I mean, he likes birds. What's not to love? As Ting Ting comes home from school, Fatty is outside of the apartment building, and he just begins berating her, crashing out for seemingly no reason, and making a woman the source of his problems. She sees her grandmother awake and creating origami. She breathes out a sigh of relief and falls asleep next to her while she makes origami cranes. And she comments on how beautiful the world is now that she is awake. When she wakes up, her grandmother is actually gone. Passed on from this world. And Fatty has gone and murdered Lily's teacher, who we learn was having an affair not just with Lily's mother, but with Lily. Y'all, I don't know what to tell you, but this is not even the messiest relationship in the movie. NJ arrives back after some wonderful words of wisdom from Mr. Ota to find his mother gone and his wife back from her trip. He tells her what he did with meeting an old friend and comments on his life leading up to this point.
我这样说好了，你不在的时候，有个机会去过了一段年轻时候的日子。本来以为说，我再活一次的话，也许会有什么不一样。结果还是差不多，没什么不同。只是突然觉得，再活一次的话，好像真的没那个必要，真的没那个必要。
At the funeral, while the family grieves, Yang goes up to his mother and asks if he can finally speak with her. And we get this really beautiful closing monologue that really hit me. I'll play it in its entirety because I think it is something that's worth seeing.
可以跟婆婆讲话。可以啊，去排队吗？
婆婆，对不起，不是我不喜欢跟你讲话，只是我觉得我能跟你讲的，你一定老早就知道了，不然你就不会每次都叫我听话。就像他们都说你走了，你也没有告诉我你去了哪里，所以我觉得那一定是我们都知道的地方。婆婆，我不知道的事情太多了，所以你知道我以后想做什么吗？我要去告诉别人他们不知道的事情，给别人看他们看不到的东西。我想这样一定天天都很好玩，说不定有一天我会发现你到底去了哪里，到时候我可不可以跟大家讲，叫大家一起过来看你呢？婆婆，我好想你，尤其是我看到那个还没有名字的小表弟，就会想起你常跟我说你老了。我很想跟他说，我觉得我也老了。
Yi Yi is a film about life, love, family, and relationships. What we mean to others and how they affect us. NJ struggles with his past while Ting Ting is grappling with the present. All this time, Yang is looking towards the future. The mother struggles with her own identity and how her life feels like a blank page and nothing gets written. The same story over and over, seeking enlightenment through religion, ultimately coming to terms that those people are just the same, day in and day out. It is a perfect movie to exemplify life and shows it in its raw, unfiltered form. Yi Yi translates directly to 1-1. When placed in their character form and on top of each other, it actually forms the character for 2, thus leading to the alternative title, a 1 and a 2. Our characters are dancing through life, making their way with one another as they journey onward, sometimes falling, but always being able to pick up the pieces with each other. Relationships are complicated. People come in and out of our lives for brief moments at a time, or stay with you for the long term. Whatever the case, their familial bond is strong and will continue to grow stronger as the years go on. I give Yi Yi a strong 9 out of 10. I think it's worth the 3-hour watch because I can tell you from experience, it just flies by. In my opinion, it holds strong in the top 100 greatest movies of all time and has joined my personal top 10 list after watching it. Sometimes perfection is hard to come by, but I think Edward Yang gets pretty damn close. That's it for this video. Have you seen Yi Yi? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. If you like this video and would like to see more content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. Give this video a like and kind of share it with your friends. Please come along this journey with me, watching the 100 greatest movies of all time. Next time, we'll be going over the film Ugetsu by Kenji Mizoguchi, which is taken from the stories of the book titled Ugetsu Monogatari, and from 2 specific tales that kind of tie in with one another. One being The House in the Thicket, and the other being The Lust of the White Serpent. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!